Okay, I think the first thing I'll say to anybody, people of colour or otherwise, know what you're going into. I think the Air Force is a different world now to what it was. I have some insight into it now, having spent a little bit of time in the sim and still have some contacts through guys who are still serving. It's not the same Air Force that I joined, and so their attitude and aptitude. It's more about their attitude has got to fit with their expectations. And the example I'll give you is I recently did a Building Heroes course, which is fantastic. There are a couple of young Army chaps who are leaving the Army because they no longer believe that the UK's morality was right. They we talked about. I mentioned earlier that I always thought we were a force for good. We were always up there doing the right thing for the right time, protecting the little man, the small people. There were 3 of them actually who said that they no longer felt that the UK was doing that. They felt that government's wars of choice, conflicts of choice, interventions of choice were not always in line with looking after the small people. And so anybody who wants to join to that, I think they need to recognise that politicians will dictate when they're going to war. And you can't pick and choose if you're a serviceman whether you go or not. But you've got to recognise that it may not always be for Queen and country. I think that's the reality. There are wars of convenience or political wars, whatever we want to call it. But if people are joining for Queen and country, that may not always be what they get involved in. And so I think, to me, that would be I'd say that's a warning for me for people, is understand what you're joining. My niece has just joined up. She starts on the 12th of May. She's going as into the air loading side of the house. But her dad's in the Air Force, so she knows what she's joining and she knows what she wants to do. But I think people need to join. It's not a job. If I think it's a job, don't join the military. It's a career, And the reason I say that again is my son was thinking of joining, but he was like, so when I finish, do you think if I finish at midday on a Friday and I go back? So no, you're there. You may be there on the weekend working. You may be training on the weekend. It's not a 9 to 5. The military is not a 9 to 5. So if you're looking for a job, you don't join the military. If you're looking for a career, you join the military. But it's a culture. You've joined a family, and that role may require you to work 21 days straight. You're a bitch and moan about it, but it may require to do that, and you may get 2 days off. But you can't suddenly go to a union because there's none. You can't complain because you've joined to do that. So I think people need to understand, people of colour or what you are joining and what you expect to get out of it. Versus, it's not a 9 to 5. No one's going to wake you up in the morning. You have to get yourself up. But they also have to recognise the opportunities that it gives them, and try and understand that. Be there. Say, if you want to be a pilot, it's like, what does that mean? Because again, discussion with my niece, what does being a pilot actually mean? Because someone says, I want to fly, you go, well, what does it mean? They probably wouldn't tell you. They need to understand what the roles and opportunities are and actually spend time researching that and go and visit. Visit an RS station, visit a naval base, go and visit a station and see the thing that you're thinking of. Don't just look on the internet, which people spend their life doing. I think you have to see it, smell it and touch it to get a real sense of what it's about. You go to a museum and you can touch and feel, then you know what that steel's about, that cold hard steel. Looking at it in the magazine isn't the same. And I think that's got to be one thing I'll say to anybody who wants to join. Go and visit, go and see. Meet people who are serving, meet people of colour who are serving, and talk to them about today's experience. My experience are different. Mine are years and years old. My expectations were different. Their expectations today are completely different to mine. Or yours, in fact, on. Yeah. But I'd say join. I'd say do it if you really want to. It's a hell of an experience.